Jason 7204, the River Pirate. I'm here along the Matanzas River. Today we are at the St. Augustine National Cemetery to take a look at the three pyramids of St. Augustine and the memorial to Major Francis Dade, who was killed during the Second Seminole War. He's buried right here, and also along with soldiers from World War I. I believe there's some Civil War soldiers buried here, and from the Seminole Wars, there may possibly be World War II here too. So we're going to take a look around. Kind of an obscure cemetery. It's not on the main touristy areas of the old city. It's to the south. You have to go along the waterfront to find it. It's quite peaceful here, very beautiful, very well kept cemetery. The memorial stones are quite to look at. So nice to look at, I should say. So anyways, come with me. Let's have some fun and enjoyment of looking at these brave men and women who served our country so well. Okay, in front of me are the three pyramids of St. Augustine. This is the final resting place for the soldiers who were killed during the Seminole Indian Wars. And inside these three pyramids is about 1,400 soldiers are interned in these. Each of these pyramids are about 8 feet tall. They used to be covered with white stucco. Now it's just a coquina that shows. Let's take a look here. In fact, Major Francis Dade, who was the one, him and 100 soldiers were ambushed by Seminole Indians, and I think there may have been one or two survivors of the attack. He was leaving Tampa on his way up to Ocala to help us another fort that was under attack, and his soldiers and him were subsequently killed in an ambush. So this is where their final resting place is. They were actually buried on the spot, and they had to wait about a year before they could dig them up and rebury them here. So kind of obscure monuments here in St. Augustine. People don't realize that St. Augustine actually has pyramids. Very much replicas of the Egyptian ones. Not quite as big, but nonetheless pyramids. And they're sitting in the middle of a cemetery. So one more look at these pyramids. And I just want to mention right here in front of me is the monument to Major Francis Dade. It's about 20 feet tall. It's made out of marble. It's got some inscriptions on it. It's kind of hard to read, and it's hard to zoom in on it, but quite the memorial to him. The grave sites around here date from probably most of them I've read is from the 1800s. There were actually some Native American markers around here also, although I've been unable to find them. I imagine they are here, so I'll keep looking. If I spot one, I'll record it. I do want to emphasize that this cemetery is very well maintained and quite beautiful actually. And if you look in the distance, I'll zoom in, is a building that I believe was used by the military. There were some barracks over here, and I believe they had a the British at one time had a hospital over here, and I'm not sure, maybe that building in the background with the flags was the hospital. I'm not really sure quite of this part of the history. But it's a more obscure cemetery, but it's very well maintained, and I definitely recommend when you're here in St. Augustine that you come take a visit and maybe take a photo op next to one of the pyramids of St. Augustine. I'm sure one of the questions that'll be asked is this cemetery haunted? I don't know. I do know that there are haunted houses around it, or haunted historical locations. There's a story of a Civil War soldier who walks along the road to my right over here, smoking a cigar, and there's a couple other bed and breakfasts supposedly haunted. I do know they've investigated this for ghosts and so forth. I don't know. I'd have to come here at night in the dark, and with all the traffic and light pollution around here, it'd be really hard to tell if it's haunted or not. Um, it might be. I do get kind of a feeling of uneasiness when I'm in this cemetery. There is some peaceful areas of it, but some of it I don't really feel comfortable with. So there could be some spirits that are wandering the grave sites here. Uh, with all of the gruesome deaths that some of the soldiers experienced, I wouldn't doubt it. So, so the answer is I don't know, but I do feel like it might be. So, all right, let's keep taking a look at the grave markers here. All right, I found a grave marker for the unknown soldier from the Indian Wars of Florida. So we're talking a time period of the 1800s, probably possibly mid 1800s, before the Civil War. Pretty amazing grave marker. And if you look in the background, there are some other grave markers here that date pretty good. There's a World War I, it looks like. That's pretty old there. And if I pan over this way, we've got some old ones over here too that are that date from the mid 1800s. So let's just keep looking. I noticed this grave marker here had a lamb on it, and as I got closer looking at it, I realized it was a little child that had passed away. And based on the markings, I don't know if you guys can see it, born in November 28th, 1898, died February 17th, 1903. It says Thea Riley. Um, I guess the lamb represents the small child. Um, pretty old grave marker, and in remarkable shape for its age. Let's keep looking. All right, now I found a marker that is very old. It says in sacred memory to Captain Llewellyn Gillian. Looks like a 6th Regiment of East Florida Volunteers. Looks like he was in Columbia County Monday, July 10th, 1937, age 31 years. Wow, that's very old. Looks like he was, oh wow, it says he was barbarously murdered by runaway Negroes and double sinks in Columbia County. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know what a sinks are, but I would think they may be Native Americans. Um, this is a very old marker. Wow. And if we walk over this way, I see some older ones over here yet. I'm not sure what the word barbarically done. Does that mean they had to use machetes or guns? What were they using? I'm not sure. Always curious. All right, there's some more old markers here. This way. to walk this way. Let's take a look at these. Go down the path this way, away from the sun. A lot of this is shaded, so it's kind of hard to read the markers, so I'll have to read them to you if it doesn't show up on the video. Let's see, I see a lot of World War II. There's yet another one. Let me zoom in if I can. And that one says Unknown Soldier, Indian Wars in Florida. And then there's an unknown U.S. soldier there. Doesn't have a date. So I don't know. Let me go around this marker here. Yeah, there's some old ones right here. Alright, I'm going to keep walking. Notice this archway over here, but there's no markers or anything to tell me, other than I believe it's based on the flagpole next to it with the flag. It's the POW memorial. That would be my deduction on that. So, but there's no inscriptions or anything on there. So that must be a newer part of the cemetery. And here's an old building on the cemetery site. There's a sign that says restrooms. I did walk up in here. It looks like it's just an empty building. I'm not sure what its function was at what point, but I'll just let you see if you can see inside. A lot of reflection on the glass. Not much to see in there. It's just an empty room. All right, let's keep going. Right, that concludes my video on the pyramids of St. Augustine at the St. Augustine National Cemetery here along the Matanzas River. I hope you've enjoyed this video. There's a lot of more obscure locations in St. Augustine that I recommend you go visit. I do want to say that the very historic here, and with all of these different markers, it's amazing how old these markers are and the good condition they're in, that you can still read them. So with that being said, I want to tell everyone also thank you for watching my videos, and I look to doing more videos for you soon. And let's take one last look at the pyramids of St. Augustine.
Style in her daddy's eyes. She just wanna laugh like a little girl. If you can't stop but take it slow, this little psychopath dynamo will hold you down till you drown in a crazy world.